one Sunday morning, I got into my car and took a long drive to what is basically just a bunch of potholes with a go-kart track in the middle. Although, to be completely fair, that go-kart track is really, really good. When I say that TeamSport Bradford came highly recommended, I mean that in my Discord server, link in description, we have a channel where people can suggest tracks for me to visit. My friend Beck Armour tallied all of these up one day and found that this specific track had been requested a staggering 200 times. Bruh. So, off the back of that, I decided to attend a 50-lap race here after months of basically being asked to. And once I let everyone know about that, the session filled up to its full capacity of 18 within an hour. The Bradford members are nothing short of fanatic. To them, this track is the Holy Land. So, I'm here to see what all the fuss is about, really. Welcome to Perico Karting. And today, Waze took me through a bloody clean air zone so I could find out what the deal is with TeamSport Bradford. So, to recap, we've got a full grid, a pack of very enthusiastic regulars on our tails, and an old-school style petrol track with a great blend between technical cornering and praying to gods that you don't even believe in for mercy. I was gonna need every advantage I could get here, especially when my outlap went something like this. And I was granted that advantage when I was randomly gridded P3 on the grid, with Kieran on my left in P2 over there, and someone completely random on the pole spot. Because that ended well in Stoke, didn't it? Regardless, it's been a long time coming. So, let's get the party started, shall we?
Here we go.
And the lights go green, and let's go racing.
Time to brake check the entire grid for absolutely no reason.
Number 8. What the f***, man, already? What the f***?
And it's happened already, so let me give you a quick explanation of what just went down there. So, me and number 8 are waiting right here on the right side of the track, the lights go green, and both of us accelerate. Now, for whatever reason, maybe number 8 doesn't feel confident that he can make that corner, so instead of going at the speed he's currently going at, he decides to absolutely mash his anchors maybe half a meter in front of me. This caused him to spin, which in turn blocked the entire grid from progressing, bringing out a red flag.
My god, man, that was the worst race start in history. What the f*** was that?
Which means, even though I just got brake checked off the line, I'm in a very, very advantageous position because of it. I don't think I'm in the wrong here, and quite frankly, if you do, I don't care. It's my video. Nah, 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 nah. But regardless, it's now time for me to continue, and I find myself in a very advantageous position. I am in P1 with knowledge of how to defend in a karting race because, let's be honest, indoor tracks are very narrow. All of the front runners are currently at the back of the grid, so I've got time and I can plan this out. However, for some reason or other, at the beginning of this, I don't seem too confident about this.
Yeah, I ain't gonna win this race, no way.
Alright, negative Nancy, it's only lap 2, there's still plenty of time. Lock in, focus, and see what you can do, shall we? Since I've been effectively doomed into yet another defensive drive, it'll probably help if I explain my defensive process. You'll notice the very slow entry and exit through the first hairpin, which brings me out into the center of the up-ramp, as well as not getting too close to the barriers on the left-hand side of the down ramp. You'll notice I hug very tightly to the left-hand side of these double hairpins though, because I want to make sure every possible door for these guys remains firmly closed. I will take regular racing lines through here because this is the fastest part of the track, even if at the beginning of the race, for whatever reason, I'm lifting way too early. On the exit of this corner though, because it's incredibly technical, I will stay central to the track, possibly holding the right later in the race, trying to block anyone off, and through these corners I take them as carefully as I can to try and block off literally anyone I can. This approach, with everyone behind me having so much more pace than me, definitely leads to a certain few moments of stress.
No, yeah.
I absolutely dropped it on the exit there, but fortunately, because I got nudged by someone behind me who is much faster, they effectively provided all of my exit speed for me. However, this isn't going to be an open and shut case, because as I come through this corner here, I obviously come way too wide, and already P2's getting their first look down the inside. I cannot allow them to get past, because there is no chance in hell I'll be able to get past them again. As a matter of fact, the teardrop corner proved to be a bit of a handful for me, because coming through this time, I had an absolutely massive wobble, which effectively almost let P2 straight past me. Fortunately, I think this car has a bit of an acceleration advantage, so I kept that one, but the teardrop corner is a bit of a handful at this stage in the race, and I'm starting to get worried. Understanding that I have a bit of a pace deficit to these guys, I dare a slightly wider exit in this corner and immediately see a kart nose, so I'm going to have to stay defensive in that corner regardless of what I do, because I just don't have the pace to outpace these guys. This is also the same lap where I started taking this down ramp slightly quicker, and as you can tell, I didn't end up underneath my kart at that back barrier there, so I must be doing something right. We're going to have a cheeky little yellow flag here for reasons that definitely aren't my causing it. No, seriously, I didn't cause this. No idea what this was about, so let's just get past this. Now, remember how I'm a slowpoke leading a conga line of much faster drivers? That's actually going to benefit me here, because I've caught up to a back marker, I absolutely scuff up that entry there, and then I get nudged through this corner, giving me a fantastic boost of speed to effectively just very cleanly overtake that back marker without any issues. Yes, I said effectively again, bite me. At this stage in the race, though, all I can do is effectively just keep doing what I've been doing. Hold station, keep my lines tight, and make sure none of these guys get past me at all. But it definitely wasn't a cakewalk, because whoever was behind me had multiple looks of the inside. But I managed to keep the lead either through decent placement of the kart, or just flat out luck with which kart I was driving.
Oh, no! No! I think I might want to be through. Wait, no, hold it!
If you didn't catch that from my damn near flawless Barnaby ape impression, I was screaming the words kart diff. I am vaguely aware that this kart I'm driving is a very, very quick kart, so credit to the Bradford mechanics, because this thing was an absolute delight to drive. But I'm starting to get absolutely manic up front here. I'm going insane. And it can't go on for much longer. It really can't. And tragically, later this lap, that very thing happens, because coming towards turn 1, I absolutely misjudged the braking, get nudged slightly, understeer on my exit, whoever's in P2 gets the nose in, I can't close them off in time, and it begins. I don't know if you've ever been in this situation where it effectively just becomes a freight train of losing positions. I went from P1 to P4 in about 2 corners, and these guys are incredibly quick. Just to add fuel to the fire, here comes Lewis Cook, who is the fastest person around this track right now, and he comes through as well. And because there was a back marker on my left there, it meant I could not follow these guys through. It meant I couldn't hold on to any position whatsoever. I had to slow down. These guys are just outside of my wheelhouse when it comes to pace, so there's no chance I'm going to be able to get past them again. However, that doesn't mean I can't try to keep up with them.
Yeah, good one, mate.
I did not keep up with them at all. This is just 2 laps later, and they are effectively so far in the distance, there's nothing I can even learn from them. These guys are seriously quick, and it was fun leading them, defending for my life, but, well, honestly, silver linings, it means that now that these guys are just sort of sodding off into the distance and enjoying their own race, it means that I can enjoy mine. I can start enjoying the things I enjoy about TeamSport Bradford. This corner right here is definitely one of them. TeamSport Bradford has this lovely mix of like your traditional double hairpins and double apexes and stuff like that, and then you just get a corner like the teardrop hairpin thrown at you from nowhere, where you have a massive steep down ramp which propels the kart at near enough 40 miles an hour directly into the weirdest shaped hairpin I've ever seen in my life. It's ruthless, it's lethal, it's crazy, and I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, my race now rests in the hands of back markers because they're the only people I can keep up with at the moment. So there's this one, Kart 11, who I begin trying to get a move on. He doesn't seem to want to let me through at this stage, so I begin setting up a brilliant dive to the inside. That's when he gives me the gesture to go through, which kind of invalidated how cool that move felt in the moment, but I'm still taking the credit for that one regardless. One of the hardest things about this track that I've not spoken about is, in fact, right at the teardrop hairpin again, because every single time you get this corner wrong, you are treated to so much axle hop it actually batters you. I don't know if you saw when I was going through that corner, but I'm pretty sure my car hopped sideways about 6 times. It genuinely feels like trying to power slide in Mario Kart. You get it wrong, it hurts, and you know about it. Now, a problem I wasn't ready for is effectively exactly what happens when there's a much slower kart on the corner exit. After almost crashing directly into a back marker at full speed, I catch up to my dear friend Kart Demonium here, who lets me through in this corner, pretty much uncontested, so I can try and keep up with the rest of the pack. Try is the key word there.
That's a lie, the track is pretty fun.
Shortly after making my feelings on this track known, I get a rather lovely dive bomb done on, yes, another back marker. I know it's all on back markers, but hey, it was difficult, it looks good, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But yeah, I really did enjoy this track. It's just so fun, so fast, so flowing. I do want to come back here. Just a lap later, I catch up to the back of my friend Obtazen here, who swings into the left to let me through at the teardrop, so I show him my gratitude in a very special way. More teardrop shenanigan time here, as I almost get sent directly to Jesus having a massive axle hop while on direct collision course with a back marker, because that's just how I roll. And it wasn't even a lap later that I almost go spearing into the back end of this guy. Well, at least I didn't overreact. Bloody hell. Speaking of overreacting, as I'm approaching this final corner here, this kart in front of me is going quite slow, and I get slowed down a fair bit because of it. And I notice something and begin relaying it to my friends in the intercom.
It's always 13! Every race! Every track! It's always got 13!
Obviously, this is a joke. This isn't an actual honest-to-God rant. I'm just having a bit of fun here, because I noticed that at the majority of my races and open sessions, one of the karts giving me the most grief is, of course, Kart 13. Real ones will definitely remember the first Coventry race I did, in which I acted like an absolute child because I got put into a barrier. We don't talk about that part. But of course, one of my biggest on-track adversaries at that point was indeed Kart 13. However, you might have noticed in the background of me talking, there is someone actively vying for my position right now. Someone is actively battling me for P5, they're nudging me a fair bit, and I'm starting to hatch a little bit of a plan in my head because, well, I'm enjoying this track and I want to learn more about it. So right here is the one and only instance you are ever going to see of me willingly ceding a position in a race to let someone through. I let this guy through just so I can try and study his lines and see just if I can pick anything up from following him and only him and not the conga line of karts the others are fighting, and maybe, just maybe, I could get an increase of pace that will help me maybe get back to the front. Mate, honest to God, do you learn anything? Yeah, that didn't really go to plan. He effectively just disappeared as soon as I let him by. It was kind of crazy just how many people I was actively slowing down that race, and I tried to learn from them, I really did, but there wasn't a whole lot I could do. These guys are quick, they're talented, and they're experienced, and honestly, sometimes a can-do attitude just isn't enough. That's unfortunately the truth, but it's the truth. Don't think I'm just gonna sit here moping though, because I'm actually still having a great time. It's lap 41 now, and I'm tailing this guy, who I'm pretty sure I've lapped multiple times now, and I'm now going to try and set up a decent move on this guy, knowing full well he's going to just let me through anyway, so it doesn't even matter. I dive to the inside, screaming my head off for some reason. He's on my outside, he's sort of got more pace than me, but he already knows that I'm through, so I have no idea why I'm so happy about this one. It felt a lot cooler than it looks, but I included this purely because I just wanted to show that I'm still really enjoying myself right now, even though I went from 1st to 6th. It doesn't matter. I'm enjoying the track. That's all that matters to me right now. However, another thing that matters to me is the fact that while the Bradford members have basically taken off, out of my little group, I am technically leading all of them. However, the closest person to me in that regard is, of course, Karting with Josh, who is about a corner behind me at this point. But my goal for this race is to finish this race while staying ahead of him, so that I can at least take home that moral victory of being faster than all my friends. Even though he's faster than me, and he just started further behind the grid than I did. But we don't talk about that part. Shush. What definitely isn't going to help me stay ahead of KJ is this back marker in front of me, who has a very slow exit out of this corner, effectively impeding mine. Fortunately, he slows down just before this apex here, but there he is, right there, just tailing someone. He is definitely gaining on me lap by lap, so I just really need to focus and probably stop screaming for more than 5 seconds in order to stay ahead of him. Now, I'm not particularly sure what happened to Kartdemonium here, but as I attempt to overtake him, I almost have a little bit of a near miss with him here.
On your right!
He then ushers me through, which was a bit of a scary moment considering that I am currently fighting KJ for position, because he has gotten close enough to the point where he has started becoming a threat. So having all these people in my way definitely was not helpful. This person sees me, panics, and absolutely vanishes into the Shadow Realm. This person's on a Sunday cruise, and I'm just here absolutely screaming my head off in terror, trying to keep the absolute force of nature that is KJ at bay so I can win this little ego battle I'm having in my head. I have done everything I can to keep him at bay, but now it's time to start the final lap. I need to demonstrate what I've learned here, because as I get nice and tight to both of these apexes, I'm carrying a lot of speed through, and I get my braking a little bit better going through this hairpin, although the exit definitely needs some work. My entry into this hairpin is also a lot better, and a much wider exit than I was daring to do the first time around. I'm a lot closer to these hairpins here. I don't go sliding into the barrier on the left on my entry to the up-ramp. I hold full speed coming towards this down ramp. I still struggle on the teardrop though. I still get it massively wrong. I'm still axle hopping like crazy coming through that corner. I have a glance behind me to see where KJ is. Fortunately, I do think I am going to survive to the end of the race before he catches me. As I get through this rather intriguing sequence of corners right here, the checkered flag is waving, I cross the line, and I have finished this race P6. Which, honestly, for a track like this, against the competition as stiff as it was, I think is a pretty respectable result. But it's time to pull into the pits and have a chat with people to see what they thought.
I don't pass him on the last lap, but the race finished the lap before.
Once I saw you coming towards me, I was like, right, my goal is not to let you through. I was holding the lead for 15 laps. I was trying so hard.
I tried to put up a net for you, but it didn't work out.
I was trying so hard to hold that lead, and then that one mistake happened and it was over. I was working so hard to keep that lead.
That was the only chance we had, you know.
There! I did it! TeamSport Bradford, are you happy now? Never in my almost 2 years of doing this have I been asked to go to a track so many times as TeamSport Bradford. I kept telling people I will go when I can drive, this and that, and then as soon as I got my driver's license, I still didn't go, and these guys did not let me forget that. But, in a way, I'm glad that they didn't, because I had a lot of fun at this track. It's this absolutely brilliant blend of technical, precise cornering, followed by old school, risking your life for the fun of it type corners like this one. It's got a lot of character, and I really did enjoy it as a petrol experience. An experience that's going to become tragically more rare as these tracks start to go electric. I do hold the opinion that some tracks will be better when they go electric, and unfortunately, TeamSport Bradford is not one of them. This thing lives and breathes to be a petrol track, and it is a lot of fun as a petrol track. So when this track goes electric, I'm not sure if it's going to have the same charm. But of course, with 200 requests for this track, there's only going to be one way to find out, which is to try it again in the future. As far as the actual race went though, for all the talk of banditry that these guys like to talk about, the Bradford members raced incredibly respectfully, and they were just really nice people, to be honest. They made us feel really welcome, and honestly, the race was a really fun experience. So, thank you to all the Bradford members for being so welcoming to us all. However, I don't think I could even make it to a Bradford members night, let alone survive one, so I'm going to very respectfully pass on that offer. You might be glad to know that while we were up north, Bradford wasn't the only track we visited. We actually took a little bit of a detour afterwards to TeamSport Leeds. And man, have I got a lot to say about that track. Is it good? Is it bad? You're gonna have to tune in and find out next time. Thank you for watching this video. It's always a pleasure to make these for you. I know that I said that I would make weekly videos as soon as I got my license, but I got kicked in the face with a reality check on that one, because when I'm not battling my own procrastination and motivation issues, I'm just battling the fact that I tend to be a busy man these days, and not all of the races I do are pretty footage intensive or generally have a whole lot going on. Real talk, I went to an event called Chase the Ace last night, which was a 45-minute long endurance race, and all but 44 minutes of that footage are completely useless, because I took the lead, disappeared, and nothing happened. Ah well, the lead session definitely had some stuff going on though, so look forward to that. Thank you for watching. Until next time.